Hey guys, welcome back to Olson's Garage, sponsored by Olson's Performance Center. If you need any work done on your bike, car, four-wheeler, anything else, let me know. I got a Facebook, message me on there. Olson's Performance Center. Alright, so this is my new bike, another new bike. I got a problem. But this is a 2003 Yamaha YZ125. I bought this bike from the same guy I bought my trailer from. I was talking to him and he's like, what are you going to use the trailer for? And I'm like, well, I'm going to use it to go dirt biking, four-wheeling, do truck stuff, do cool stuff. He's like, check this out. We walked into a shed and this was sitting in it. This was his race bike for a long time. And he gave me a bin full of stuff and there were like receipts for races from like 2008, 2009. There were receipts for gear. So he raced this at Valley MX before they closed in 2004, which I thought was really cool. Apparently there was a track in Lake Geneva. He went to Aztalan, Sugar Maple. Really, really cool story. So I want to bring this thing back to life and try and ride this at a couple places for him. And he sold me a bin of old clothing. And there's Torque Center branded Axio pants. I have an old school blue Fox chest protector, Fox gloves, and there's a couple other goodies in there too, but I'm gonna try and recreate what he was wearing back in the early 2000s, which I think would be really cool. So yeah, this is the bike. Currently it's not running. I think I might have fouled the spark plug. It has really, really old gas in it. It has old coolant in it, and it has old engine oil in it. I don't remember the last time he ran this thing, but he said it's been a pretty long time. So the other day I drained out the tank, I got that empty, I put fresh new gas in it, and I was running around. It was still kind of burning, running, smelling kind of crappy, and I think it might have fouled the plug. So when I got the bike, the plug was actually loose, so it created a bunch of, it was leaking a little bit, so it was getting some of this nasty crap on there. Luckily this did tighten up, so we don't have to worry about taking the head off with stripped threads and everything. But we're gonna try and throw a new plug in here, see what this plug looks like, and see if we can get this thing to start again. And then we're gonna go through, change the oil, change coolant, and do all that stuff. But let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna be swapping out this spark plug with a NGK BR8EIX. I found that the Iridium ones tend to foul a lot less, so that's what we're gonna be running. Every time I open this bike up a little bit, it just smells of really old gas. It's a BR9ES. And it's pretty sooted up. I'd be really surprised if this thing had spark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put this on the boot, kick it over, and see if we got spark, just in case we got another problem. We do have another problem. I'm not seeing any spark and I really don't want to touch this thing. Maybe there is some. Maybe I just can't see it. Let's try this. Oh yeah, there's spark there. It's like 90 degrees outside right now. It's crazy, crazy hot. So that's why I'm dressed like this again, because this is what I wear in the summer in the garage. Because it's too hot to wear anything else. I'm gonna grab a rag and clean all this stuff off. Spray a little brake clean on it, and do that so we have a nice clean surface for everything. Yeah, it's a hot one. And because my brain's not right, I have to be doing stuff all the time. So that's why we're out in the garage, sweating like a pig. Let's see if this thing fires up. All right. Yes. Choke. Not too bad. First crank. New clean spark plugs do a lot, I guess. Believe it or not. I think we're gonna drain the oil, drain the coolant, and replace those two things. And take it for a quick little spin and see how it goes. So on the YZs, it's really easy to change the fluids on these. You need a 12 and an 8. The 8 is gonna be for the coolant. It's gonna be whichever one has a copper washer on it. So in this case, it's gonna be this one. And these don't hold a whole lot of coolant. Make sure you take your cap off. It'll start to come out a lot quicker with your cap off, so be prepared for that. That's why I got this bucket right here. And of course, sometimes it's just going to be a pain in the butt to get that screw off. Alright, so we're going to do another trick. We're going to put the cap back on just a little bit, because then that'll kind of pull a little bit of suction on the coolant system. Not suction necessarily, but it'll slow down the flow so we can get this all the way off without making hopefully a huge mess. Ooh, look at that. Gross. And there we go, and take the cap off the rest of the way. Just like that. We're gonna flush this thing out with water before we put new coolant in it. So we'll tighten that back down, and then we'll just fill this thing back up with water. In the meantime, we'll drain the engine oil, and that requires a 12. And there's a screw on the bottom of the case. Oh dang. So this engine oil actually looks really good. That's a good sign. That's good. That's good oil still. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of surprising. It does smell a little bit like gear drive oil than it smells like engine oil. It doesn't smell as much like engine oil to me. It smells like maybe gear lube, but like it's a thin viscosity, but it definitely smells like gear lube. We're gonna put Honda GN4 back in it. That's what's recommended. It's always Honda GN4, Yamaha 1040. There's probably like an AMS oil and some other stuff. I just like using the Honda oil, and all my stuff I've had really good luck with it. So I'm gonna stick with that. We'll get some water back in the coolant system. We'll flush it and pour some engine ice in it. I love using engine ice, especially in the 2-strokes, especially in the heat. So fill this thing with engine ice, throw some Honda GN40 in it, and test it out and kind of see how it does power-wise. So there is a fill plug right here. You don't fill it from this plug, but I guess it's a level plug. Never mind. So there's a level plug right here, similar to the coolant drain. It's going to have a copper washer on it. So you fill it up basically until it comes out of here, but the bike has to be level, it has to be flat. So what I'm going to do is overfill it just slightly. This system takes 650 centimeters squared, which I think, if my math is right, is 650 milliliters, but I might be wrong, I don't remember. Okay, so cool. So it's draining out of there right now, and the bike is tipped too high. this back over here. So the bike is tipped too high, so we're gonna have to take it, move it this way a little bit to get our level just right. Must overfill it quite a bit. So we'll let it drain out and we'll come back and start this thing up and rip it up and down the alley a couple times. Hopefully this thing runs pretty good. It runs out and it clears out. That's what was kind of happening the other day when I was riding it. It wouldn't clear out, and then I was cruising it around in the yard, and then it just stopped running altogether. So it fouled the plug at that point. So new plug, new gas, new oil, new coolant. Fingers crossed, we should be in good shape. So stay tuned. Well, that was pretty much the easiest. Buy a bike and get it running, and then get it running well. Literally a spark plug, new gas, drain the old gas out, new gas, coolant, change the engine oil, and it runs really good already. So I'm really stoked about that. The suspension's stiff. I mean, the suspension's stiff, so this is definitely a motocross bike. But yeah, there it is, pretty much ready to go. Alright guys, we're at Valley MX today with the YZ.